Hi, I'm Elise Arkills, and I'm a part of the women's rowing team at SPU.
Elise, your team has been busy here, especially these last 2 weeks with long road trips. 2 weeks ago to Oklahoma City, last week to Sarasota, Florida, against the best teams from the South. How do you feel like things went at the FIRA Regatta?
I feel like we really executed well. There are some really fast teams in the South, but I feel like we kept with them and gave it our all, and I think our time really showed that.
Rowing's a unique sport. You have your own equipment, but sometimes you're not able to bring that with you. I believe you use borrowed shells along with borrowed oars. How much of a difference does that make?
We had previously practiced in the borrowed boat that we rowed on there, so we had a little bit of practice in that. And we brought our own oars, but I think we really adjusted well to the change, and I think we executed really well.
How much of a difference is it if there are different shell manufacturers, boat manufacturers, how much of a difference is it between one and another?
Not too much of a difference. I mean, it will be a little bit of adjustment as we get on the water and try it for the first time, but it's not too much different than our boats here.
Great. And then when you go to new course, the last 2 weeks you've been, it was Cooper Creek last week in Sarasota, it was the Oklahoma River before that. What do you do to acclimate to a new, not just a new area, but rowing on a new body of water?
Normally we have a practice the day before our actual regatta, and so we get used to the water and like the winds and stuff, and I think having a practice in Sarasota before we actually raced really equipped us well for rowing in like any condition that would have.
Great. Well, you won't have to worry about rowing on unfamiliar water this week, as we have our annual Falcon Regatta, the one home event you host right here on the Lake Washington Ship Canal. You've rowed there plenty in practice and also in regattas. How nice is it to be able to have a home competition?
I think it'll be really great. We're going to have a lot of people come out and watch us, and it's our home canal, so we obviously want to show off and show how fast we are, so I think it'll be a really great race against two good teams.
You mentioned two good teams, and that's for sure. All three of the teams, Humboldt State, or Cal Poly Humboldt, they just recently changed their name, Western Washington, and your Seattle Suic team is ranked 6th nationally. All teams ranked in the top 8 nationally. How important is it to have a good showing on Saturday morning?
I think it's really important. Western is a couple seats above us, so we really want to show them how fast we are and try to take that second place back in our region.
You mentioned that in the first regatta of the year down at the PL, you invite Western as your crew. Do you feel like your crew has gotten better, or what has been that process of increasing speed throughout the year?
Yeah, I really think we have improved since PLU. We have a different lineup than we had at PLU, and we've had our spring break training and a couple hard weeks of amping up on the intensity, so I really think my crew is ready.
Great. Last year you rode in the Falcon Regatta in a different crew. What was that experience like with the home fans, and what do you remember about that event?
Yeah, I think it was great. We had a lot of people out there, and it was kind of like our first home race, like a little bit in the middle of COVID, but toward the end, so it was nice to have our fans out, but I think it'll be an even better atmosphere this weekend with more people.
Great. First of all, let's talk a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you're from.
I'm from Tacoma, Washington.
Great. And for those, most people are familiar with that, but for those not familiar at all with the state of Washington geography, tell us where that is and how far is that driving distance from home to SPU campus?
It's about an hour south with no traffic really, but okay. Traffic, it can be a little bit of a drive.
in Tacoma and Seattle, certainly, yes. And why did you choose to come to Seattle Pacific?
I chose because of their nursing program. My major is nursing, and I've heard they had a really great program here, and then I walked onto the team, so it's a great atmosphere and environment. So. Great,
and I was going to ask about that, walking on. What persuaded you? How did that come about that you decided to walk on and you heard about the team?
Yeah, so I just wanted something to do, with COVID, and it was kind of quiet on campus, so I found the rowing team and just walked on, and then I just really enjoyed it, so I love it.
Had you had any prior rowing experience?
No, I didn't have any.
Yeah, which is very common. Yeah. Tell us about that process of learning to row. How did that happen for you, and what was the most difficult aspect?
It took a lot of time and patience. I think just learning how to row in the boat with 7 other people, it's just a lot of balance and coordination, but through a lot of practice, it's definitely paid off.
It certainly has, and you've been rowing in the top boat now after that short time. What major-wise nursing you mentioned, and that's a very challenging major, and it's a good one here at campus. How are you able to juggle academics and rowing?
Definitely time management, trying to balance everything and put school first and go to tutoring and get help with office hours from my professors. And my coaches are really understanding, so they know that nursing is a hard major, and so it'll take a lot of time, but I've made it work so far, so.
Excellent. And obviously, nursing, we know what you want to go into. Is there a certain aspect of that you want to pursue after graduation?
I'd like to go into the emergency room or the ICU, but we'll see where that leads me the next year.
And
so.
what draws you to the ICU or emergency room?
I like the fast-paced environment and how things are different every day, and you can just put your skills to the test. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, Elise, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it, and good luck at the Falcon Regatta on Saturday.
Thank you.